All right, big shout out to everyone watching Jrod on point. Listen, listen, look at we got here. Look at who we got here. We got the legend of true crime. We got the legend, one of the pillars. We got one of the pillars of the true crime community. I want to welcome. I'm gonna give him a second. I'm gonna give him a second for him to set up. I got you, bro. I see you. I see you. I see you. All right, all right. That's my guy. Okay, okay. That's my guy. I see you. That's my guy's pick by holding backstage, waiting to pop up. Let me see what we got here. Let me bring him up real quick. Is that Mr. Speakman Holding?
Yeah, that's me. I'm trying to get the lighting right up in here. So just give me a sec. Yeah, man.
What's up, bro? I'm so happy to see you, man. You have no idea. It's been a long time. What's up with you, man?
Well, I'm just relaxing, trying to recoup.
Recruit for what? Traveling around the world, huh?
Yeah, you can say that. I
I
mean,
know. Hey, listen, I had to talk shit about you to get you out of the cave, huh?
I'm trying to configure this.
Oh, you good? You look at you, man. Look at you. You
Well,
you on your you on your 30s, huh?
20s.
Oh, okay. Oh, my bad. Listen, I'm sorry if I disrespected. I'm sorry if I disrespected.
Just a second. Hold on.
Oh, go ahead, bro. You good, man. We got all day. Hey, big shout out to Kayleen Bell. Big shout out to Kayleen Bell. Thank you for being here. Very appreciate it. Actually, while Speakman Holding getting ready, let me get to the chat real quick. Let me get to the chat. Big shout out to Help Me Rhonda. She was the first one on the chat today. Thank you so much. Big shout out to Amy Conway. Very so much appreciated. By the way, the link on top it was just for Speakman Holding. It's just gonna be me Speakman Holding today, having a great conversation and some sparks and some fireworks with some plenty smoke is about to happen today. It's about to happen today. I'm very happy that I have my brother here today to have great conversations about the Idaho 4 Bryan Kohberger case. Today's title, The Bottom Line, with true crime legends, Speakman Holding and Jrod on point. Big shout out to everyone in the chat. I'm very humble, most gracious host, Jrod on point. You favorite brother, you mother's favorite son, the black sheep. So when me and Speakman Holding get together on the live stream, it gets real. So for those people that are sensitive, that are soft, might as well get out. Cause we're gonna talk some real shit and I'm very happy to have the company of one of the legends of the true crime community and someone that has welcomed me as a brother, as a collaborator and family, and I'm very humble to have such a great brother like Speakman Holding by my side, which I so much appreciate. Big shout out to everyone watching. As y'all can see, Speakman Holding traveling around the world. You know what I'm saying? You know he in a hotel room. You know he's in the hotel right now. He cannot tell me nothing. I know he's somewhere around the world. You know what I'm saying? Some Japanese, Lebanese, some shit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Don't tell me no. I'm 48 years old. You cannot tell me no.
Not.
You know they say out there the old man got his tricks on his sleeves.
Something like that. Game playing. Elite.
Amy Conway said, hit the like button, please, and thank you. Just warming up. We just had a little music, you know what I'm saying? Getting in the right mood while I was eating some burritos. I guess I was eating some burritos with some grilled chicken, you know what I'm saying? Some rice and cheese, some good stuff, you know what I'm saying? You know, man like me don't got time to eat. So I eat whenever I can, you know what I'm saying? But man, I'm so happy. I'm so happy for you to be here. I want to send a shout out to Kathleen Bell. Thank you so much, very so much appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Amy Conway, say hi to Kathleen Bell. She also suggests to please click like, subscribe, and share the content. Well, let me see. He'll be back. He'll be back. He'll be back.
Jrod,
Yeah.
my camera just said it's lost connection, so I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, actually, it told me the same thing over here, but you could keep it off if you want, though.
Well, I want. Oh, I mean, if I click it on, it don't come back on.
Yeah, yeah, you good though. You good.
I don't want to get on the Wi-Fi here.
Yeah, don't worry, bro. You good, man. You good, man. And I'm not trying to keep you for too long, but I want to make sure that at least um we get to the meats and potato of your update because I want to make sure that you update the people on the latest of your hot takes and stuff like that. But I wanna talk about what we was talking about earlier because it really made me think for a little bit. Like, you know what? Let me take a look at that. You remember we was talking about the IGG? So I wanted to ask you. I really wanted to ask you because again, you very versed on far as due process. Um, Caitlin Bell said, "I'm still finding people that can't understand that they have nothing on him." Well, they do and they don't at the same time, though. You know what I'm saying? They do and they don't. Speak on holding. I'm gonna leave it right there on the screen. If you want to answer that.
Well, when you look at the fact they do have something on him, they have enough to go to trial. And Taylor knows this. If you think back when Ann Taylor was arguing her initial motions to suppress evidence, she really cited no case law to validate the motion. She had an argument, but not an actual motion. Even when we look at the IGG report, once again, it's up for ruling whether whether they went about it the right way, or whether the fruit from the poisonous tree would be thrown out. Even if they throw out some of the evidence, there's still enough to hold him over to trial because when they had him waive the speedy trial, like I say, Ann Taylor is working in conjunction with the prosecutor. And I'm going to say it like this here. Had they had the speedy preliminary hearing, we would have already understood what the alleged surviving roommate said. The wishy-washy couldn't remember, she was drunk. We would have known this. And then it would have never got to the probable cause affidavit. So think about it. You don't get to where they at had you had the speedy preliminary hearing. And because because they did trace DNA back to him, regardless of how they done it, it's still up for arguments whether there was a privacy issue that would need to be respected up under the Constitution. Violating a policy or procedure does not matter. You don't have a right to a policy or procedure. So at this point in the game, when he stated an alibi that hurted him, that's enough to hold him over in itself. So he would have to prove where he was at, because you make the alibi and it needs to be corroborated. Yes, they do have something on him, enough to hold him over to trial. It may not. We don't, like I said, we don't know how the court is going to rule on the evidence. We just have to wait and see.
Um,
Procedure.
it's very particular. Big shout out to Missing in America. Thank you so much for being here. Missing in America say 100% by holding. That's good stuff. Very appreciated. Thank you so much. Amy Conway say I've been telling people to watch on YouTube. Putting 48 hours DNA on the killer is an Idaho 4 case. They use IGGs very informative. On real the ending. I'm gonna have to take a look at that though. You did advise me to take a look at that special. If you have the link, Amy Conway, do me a favor, please, if you can, whenever you get a second, if you could copy and paste the link of that video, please do so on the chat room so other people get to see it. And I'm gonna save the link so I could see it myself and study that. That'll be awesome, and I believe it'll be a great watch. And Amy Conway say, "Hola, Sir Van, speak home. Welcome home."
Thank you.
We appreciate you though. True Hitler likes case law. Yes, yes. I think that in the hearing, in the latest hearing, um, and actually Speak My Holding was talking about earlier, which I told him those loopholes that they utilize with the IGG in reality don't have case law. Um, it's like unwritten grounds because it hasn't been written. So it's a whole unexplored situation that is very particular to me. What's your opinion on that, Mr. Speakman, holding not having case law on privacy settings and whatnot, far as the IGG and stuff?
Courts have typically ruled where there was no clear constitutional or statutory right. Your right could not have been violated. So the prosecution and the investigating team committed no error. As a matter of fact, it would be legal because there was no bound set for that.
But it was a bound. I'm sorry for interrupt you. What was that? The DA office and the FBI. What you might call it? They went against their own policies.
A policy, you don't have a right to a policy. Courts do not interpret or apply policies to your constitutional rights. They only do the, did you have a constitutional right using that? That is the only question that the court will seek to resolve. And clearly he did not. No one does at this point.
Okay. You see, and that's where I see that it's no written case law as far as let's say let's say the government, in this case the FBI, going towards those sites that their own policy indicates that they will not use those particular sites. um I believe that that could be a red flag in my personal opinion, far as give like a sign of backdoor. We could agree and disagree with that. Also, before I go too far into the topic, I really want to know, for those people that, thank you, Amy Conway, I appreciate you, and thank you so much, very so much, appreciate it. That's the name of of the series. I think it's a series video. It's
I'll
a
make sure
48. Go ahead, brother.
no, I was saying I'll make sure I check that out too.
Yeah, that'll be great too. I think it'll be a great, because Amy Conway is very particular on the stuff that she watch about the cases, and when she recommends something, is always something good there. So I will listen to that video, and then I come back to ya about it. But before we go any further, besides the appreciation that we have for you to be here today, for those that don't know jurisprudence and case law and stuff like that, that I know you're fully aware, would you explain to the public that is watching today the importance of not skipping a preliminary hearing?
Okay. Here's the reason why you never want to do that. A lot of lawyers will not explain this in detail because this helps prolong a case. The purpose of the speedy preliminary hearing is to see exactly what they have and to ask questions, because this sets you up for discovery, what you need to ask for. And it's also when they come to when the police or the prosecutor or any witness attend a preliminary hearing, this becomes evidence. They are bound by what they state at the preliminary hearing. They cannot change it. They could be because it could carry over to where they can be impeached. And when we look at the Kohberger case where he waived, if you go back and look, Ann Taylor contended that they needed to waive the speedy preliminary hearing to prepare. Well, you can look in any jurisprudence in pretty much in every 50 states. You don't need discovery for, as a matter of fact, you don't even have a right to discovery to an extent where you're going to uncover a lot of things at a preliminary hearing. It's just to see, is there enough to hold you over for trial? And if they would have went to the speedy preliminary hearing, we would have found out what Dylan Mortensen said. We would have also found out DM and what's that other young lady name?
Bethany Funk.
Bethany Funk. We would have, because Ann Taylor could have asked the detectives who made the 911 call, who exactly, what did the roommate state. They would have had to say it under oath. This is what she said. This is what they said. Now, they could not have lied to get the arrest warrant or search warrant. See, because once you skip this phase, you created a door for them to manipulate what the so-called surviving roommate said. And that's one of the things that put Kohberger out there waiving that speedy preliminary hearing. If you look at what Ann Taylor is arguing about the substance of what the so-called surviving roommate stated, had they poured that down at the speedy preliminary hearing, they would have never been able to lie and manipulate that to get the arrest warrant or search warrant. That's why. You see, when you do that, you leave them open to create lies that you could have poured down from the beginning. And we see that playing out now. So as you can see, there's never a reason to waive a right unless you get something in return. Ann Taylor knew very well that you do not waive a speedy preliminary hearing for discovery. You don't do that.
And I think that goes back to what we was talking about, far as the what was that, the extradition hearing over there in Pennsylvania. You told me that was very key.
Yes, I wouldn't have waived that either. That was another thing that he could have found out about what was said, what led, basic stuff that they could not manipulate in the long run. And they would have had to reveal that. It's just not about a lot of the attorneys on YouTube. They try to make it appear that, oh, they just got to show this. No, you have a right to ask questions to the prosecutor, the investigators, and they have to answer those questions. It's not just, it's extensive and it's very beneficial, because after hearing certain things, see, in my opinion, Ann Taylor already knew why she needed to skip the preliminary hearing. This is why she's making so much money on the case. She's helped prosecuting Kohberger the long way, but it's going to be a definite conviction, because there is no benefit that ever came from skipping a speedy preliminary hearing. Can anybody point out the benefit?
Like, let's say by any case, let's say playing devil's advocate, I love to do that. Let's say if, even though we skip those two very, very important key hearings, now we're waiting for a frank hearing, right? Actually, before we go too farther, because this is very good for the people to take it step by step and slow it down a little bit for them, because in reality, not a lot of people is up to speed. So just to make it in layman's terms and a little bit more slow, I want to answer this question. Kiely Bell said, what do you think about the DoorDash driver? We haven't heard much about them.
You asking me that question?
Both. I just would love for you to have you take about it, and then I give mine.
That's one of the key things that I say about the speedy preliminary hearing, that we don't know, but Ann Taylor and them know. And the fact that Ann Taylor is not arguing against or for that is something that we can pretty much deem irrelevant at the time. If you look at the way that they are prosecuting this case in secret, then coming out, they are not giving us everything, because, it is clear that the prosecutor them violated some things that they don't want nobody to know. And it is dealing with a lot of people DNA that, like Ancestor, 23andMe, they violated their contract with them and therefore breached the contract with the people. So The court's trying to hide the fact that a lot of people that uploaded their DNA there have a suit against the federal government and the state of Idaho prosecutor and law enforcement. But at this point, you can pretty much write the DoorDash driver off. That person is not relevant because we haven't really heard no arguments dealing with that person, he or she, whether she.
Totally understand, and that was a great take right there, though. Very appreciated. Big shout out to all Granny Annie is traveling again. Thank you so much for being here. She said to Caitlin, I agree. DoorDash driver, in my opinion, was a pre-order by EB. Setting fake timeline, named the Elantra too. In my opinion, BK boys, her friends, IMO. Ain't it the DoorDash driver? Anyone on the chat could answer this? Didn't they say that the DoorDash driver used to live right next to Kohberger? Anyone in the chat could answer that? Because I heard that already though. On some information that came out. But in my personal opinion, far as the DoorDash driver, um, yeah, I know. Oh, Granny, all speculations, of course. Um, in my personal opinion, see, due to the homework that I give Moscow PD when I spoke with him, I have a time of death between 3 and 4. That's the time of death that I did share with Moscow PD. The reasons why are very very obvious. You know what I mean? Especially the phone call, the phone calls that he sounds that he was like kind of like wanted to touch the temperature with Jack the Cole and whatnot. Kiely calling from her phone and calling from Maddie's phone. Um, and the phone call stopped coming in around 2:50 something, 3 o'clock, and then Kaylee's phone got shut off. That information came out way before the gag order that her phone got shut off at that time after calling Jack the call from both phones few times. So, in my understanding, if we go with the information that I have offered, for me, it's very clear that by the time Jack the Core got there, the killing started. That's at least my opinion due to the information that I have gathered. Again, it's a very unpopular opinion, but I do agree. I do agree that after the killing between 3 and 4, by the time, by the time they said that Santa was on her phone on TikTok and whatnot, and the phone call to the DoorDash, which again, that food was on the top of the kitchen, on the top of the kitchen table, untouched. The whatever drink they had, it was untouched. The food was untouched because it was still clipped and everything with their receipt. So if you ask me, far as Asana's cell phone, and far as Asana calling the DoorDash and stuff like that, for me that was all a setup to throw off the investigation. In my personal opinion, that was just again. Listen, if it comes out that my information is correct, because again, is all what I have gathered. Um, if ever comes out the youngins, the frat boys, and probably with the help with the sorority girls like Dylan Mortensen was the one that actually killed the victims. These guys are very smart. They not in the University of Idaho because they are some dumb puppets. You know, um, the majority of them actually are studying the same classes that Bryan Kohberger was taking in Washington State University. Um, so I believe that it was knowledge after the killing. It was knowledge about what to do to throw off an investigation. And again, in my opinion, the DoorDash call and all that was made by the killers. And if it wasn't made by the killers were already done and gone, and they left instructions to Dylan Mortensen to do certain things to throw off the investigation. Hopefully that answer all Granny Annie is traveling again question. Thank you so much for it. Anything that you want to add to that, brother? Either or agree or disagree?
I
I mean,
disagree.
I'm sorry. I'm saying that because again, in,
Okay.
in your very first videos, I think we could relate with this conversation.
Okay. Like I said from the beginning, I didn't believe the Idaho police. Remember, initially they said that the roommates was asleep. They heard nothing. All right. Let's keep in mind that the police is allowed to lie to the public. I've been knowing this before the Supreme Court ever said it. But let's keep in mind, the Moscow PD say both of the roommates was asleep. They didn't hear anything. So this is crucial to the speedy preliminary hearing. And Taylor knew that because she's working with Bill Thompson and the police, this is why she didn't want the speedy preliminary hearing, because she knew it would expose that the roommates was texting, they was up, and they was drunk. Okay, see, if you kill it right there that they was up and they was confused, you don't get to the Frank hearing. You don't need a Frank hearing. You don't need the probable cause affidavit. And this is what I try to get people to well, if they don't ever understand it, then your lawyer can play you like Ann Taylor's playing Kohberger. You don't get to this point. And here it is at this point, every argument that Ann Taylor has made concerning the evidence has been shot down, is going to continue to be shot down. Because they know at this point that they have enough they're not going to let the killer go. In my opinion, Kohberger is the killer.
No, and I respect that. We could both disagree with that. We've been disagreeing for the past 2 years, me and you.
There's one thing that you had not done that I did. I pledged to give my station to you if he's not convicted. I guarantee a conviction, but you have not made such a pledge.
What you talking about? I already told you this channel, whatever channels I got plus $100. What you talking about? You need to stop drinking that cognac.
So guess what? I'm gonna take them channels. I'm gonna take that money because I can pretty much tell you an innocent man that stand charged of these crimes would not remain silent. Remember, Kohberger will never take the stand to testify on his behalf. I guarantee that. He
We
can't,
have. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
can't take the stand.
We have, and we're gonna get back to that right now because I love what you're saying right now. We got help me Rhonda. She said no. She leave. It seems that it was a girl, the DoorDash driver. She helped me Rhonda said no. She lived next door to the house of the victims. Again, I never heard that. I actually heard that the person was living in Pullman, Washington. But Helmi Rhonda said they no, that she live next to the victim, which is another contradiction there with what Rhonda's saying. Because they also said that the DoorDash driver it was a guy, not a female. So we could all agree and disagree with that. But thank you so much, Helmi Rhonda, for the information though. Um, we got all Granny. Are you there, brother?
Yeah, I looked at something. It was telling me the fireproof uh, and I hit it and it popped the camera propped on.
Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go. So, oh, Granny Annie said, rumors, private driver, and rumors, DD driver, leave by them. Granny Annie. Boom, boom, boom. And Amy Conway said, "Who's the MBS witness? Crap." There was no probable cause. They needed a witness for a PCA arrest. Is trash. What you think about that though? Cause this PCA put Dylan Mortensen, like, if you ask me, put Dylan Mortensen in a pickle. Can we agree at least on that?
Yeah, I agree. They needed a witness. If once again, you have to understand, if you get them to the speed of preliminary hearing and get to what they said, the police is bound by that. Now they know that we locked the story in. You can't get to the PCA and say what you said that one of the alleged victims said. You can't get to that point. But and that's the problem. When you allow that to happen, you're in a bad situation.
And you see, it's very particular. Like in the very beginning of this whole situation, I don't know if you remember. Actually, you just mentioned it a little bit ago. That the first alibi that it was brought up to the table, it was that both roommates were sleeping on the first floor,
Yes.
not hearing, not seeing nothing. And then it seems that after they all got clear, because that was like within the 2 weeks period that I spoke with Moscow PD, because it did piss me off. I knew they didn't investigate it though, because we're talking about around, if you ask me, at least 20 to 30 people that has to do with the University of Idaho, between students and between friends, folks, and family members and whatnot. They did not do like no type of forest as to clear these people. At this day today, and Taylor don't have nothing far as 48-hour investigation for them to clear these people. So in my assessment, I believe that it was done all by face value and push by the University of Idaho to leave the kids alone, because they all lawyer up right away. Everyone lawyer up. Um, After they got clear, then the alibi changed. Then the alibi went to Dylan Mortensen being on the second floor, seeing and hearing things. But the particular thing about that is that after they plastered that in the PCA, we heard in these latest hearings that in reality, what Dylan Mortensen told authorities was that she don't know nothing. She didn't even know if that was real, that she was drunk and intoxicated. If you ask me, just with those words, and of course, they, first and foremost, in a situation like this, I think is investigation 101. When you have two survivor victims, soon as you get to the location and you identify that this is the survivor victims, right? And you also identify and get confirmed that such and such and such and such was inside that house for a period of time, everyone gets packed up. Everybody gets forensic done. Everybody gets toxicology done. Because then whatever you tell me and you testify on alibi or whatnot, I need to make sure that you're sober, that you are coherent, and that your nails. It has to be some kind of forensic done to not just the survivor victims, but also everyone that was told to police that it was inside of that residence for a period of time before the officials got there. What you think about that?
Well, you can't require somebody to submit to DNA or testing. You're gonna need a search warrant for that. Otherwise, they're not a witness or they're not gonna cooperate with you. And
And
you're
they have to get
gonna
proclaimed suspect, right?
excuse me.
Do they have to be proclaimed suspects first, right?
Even if they a suspect, they don't even have to talk. Uh, when you're in a situation, it's like if I'm out there or we walk up on a dead body, we call the police. We can tell them we just walked up and found the body. We don't have to offer anything further than that. Uh, Even if they say, "Well, we look at you as a suspect," Okay, you don't have any. You can look at me how you want to. It ain't going anywhere. The bottom line is that when we look at Brett Payne, excuse, I believe
Yeah,
that's his
Brett
name.
Payne. Yeah, Brett Payne.
When
That's
they
the
asked,
lead investigator.
my camera just popped off. When they asked him, "Hey, uh, are the room weights witnesses?" He said, "I never said they was witnesses." See, the police have been equivocal in lying, so you can't believe nothing that they say. And I said this from the beginning that the way that they got to Kohberger is not the way that they saying it. This is why they having these secret hearings. At this point, I cannot say that what you saying about Jack DeCore is not valid because the way that they holding this trial, they doing too much stuff in secrecy. Right today, we still don't pretty much know what the surviving roommates actually said. Okay, and today, if you look, looking back a month ago when Ann Taylor was arguing motions to suppress evidence, she cited no case law. When you cite no case law, that means that your position is unfounded and not even recognized by the law. So once again, the trial is actually being played out right now. Okay, this is why it's taking so long. They need to show you, yeah, he is the killer, but the way that they got to him is illegal, as far as we're concerned. So when this goes into in front of a jury, which is the jury determines what to believe and what not to believe. They don't even have to go up in there with physical evidence. They just say, "I witnessed," and he's going to be convicted because he's already convicted.
But
Everybody know you do not say that you was gazing at the stars for an alibi. That's some BS.
but I think it's a conflict of interest when the PCA assert certain information that Dylan Mortensen offered to them, right? That's their side of the fence. That Dylan Mortensen offers some information to them for that PCA to come to a fruition. Um, what they put on that PCA, it goes against to her interrogations with Moscow PD. That's like the problem that we see so far. They allege that Dylan Mortensen gave him a description and a timeline. Also, Ashley Jennings, she assert and told the judge that Dylan Mortensen not just offer a timeline, but that she also offers a ID of the suspect. But when they show Bryan Kohberger to Dylan Mortensen on the lineup, she couldn't recognize the guy. Anything you got to say about that?
Well, I don't know if that happened, but I can tell you this. I said from the beginning.
No, it did happen. It's on legal records. I could play it for you if you want.
Cool. Let's say we take your position as that happened. If she
Okay.
point him out, it just goes back to what I said from the beginning. She
No,
never
she didn't point them out. She didn't
shot.
point. I'm sorry.
Excuse me?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She didn't. She couldn't recognize the guy.
Yeah. That means that everything that the law enforcement has said thus far was a lie and fabricated to get to Kohberger. Remember, I say that the Kohberger family contacted the FBI or the law enforcement and say, "Hey, we believe this is our son." And so they don't want that to come out, so they have to use the so-called surviving roommates and say this is how we know that they didn't get this from Dylan Morrison or Bethany Funk. We know that they didn't recognize, they didn't see the guy. So that was all the rules. But once again, it goes back to the beginning. Had you had the speedy preliminary hearing, you could have asked these questions, but Ann Taylor already knew the answers. This is why she waived it. She knew the answer.
You know what's particular though? It's very interesting for me from where you get the because I know it's your theory, your speculation, your
Hey,
opinion. But at the same time, if that was truth, that at some point Bryan Kohberger's sister reached out to
I don't
officials.
know if his sister, mother, it was somebody in the family reached out to him and say, hey, this guy fantasized about this. Look at my brother very closely.
The problem with that, the problem with that, it has not never been mentioned in court.
Why would it be?
In the same way, why timeline is very important. I'm gonna explain to you. The timeline goes, this officer, private officer from WSU, giving a white Helantra to Moscow PD. If they mention that, they have to mention if anyone from the family would reach out, because that's convenient for the prosecution. Because that would tell the judge, that would literally shut the case up in favor of the prosecution. Because then, oh, we lost Speak Van Holding. Hopefully he come back. We're gonna pick it up soon as he come back. Big shout out to Speak Van Holding. He been having signal problems. Um, but for those that are listening right now, into Speakman Holding comes back. Big shout out to my brother from another mother. Um, it's very particular to see the prosecution have mentioned everything within the timeline, all the way from the WSU official private security guard giving out Moscow PD the white Helantra, but Brett Payne said that he don't know nothing about that. So it's very interesting when Speakbank Holding mentioned that he believe, because again, I want to make sure that everybody understand that's just his belief, his theory. It has not been confirmed by any source at all whatsoever. But he's just trying to make it make sense for him. But at this day today, if any family of Kohberger would reach out to authorities putting Kohberger as a possible suspect, in my personal opinion, do not make sense. Just in my personal opinion, I totally respect my brother's Pickban Holding, but in my personal opinion, do not make sense. Again, due to what we have heard in court, because it's very clear that in these latest hearings, they would have mentioned that. Agree to disagree, but in my personal opinion, if by any chance any Kohberger family member, we got Speakman Holding back. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. And I'm gonna roll back. with what I was saying about it. I don't know if you heard me. Um, in the same way they put that as WSU officer, private security guard or whatnot, that they mentioned that guy offered Bryan Kohberger's like tip. Hey, I have a white Helantra here in WSU. Check it out. Brett Payne don't even remember that. Like Brett Payne doesn't even acknowledge that particular detail, which is being mentioned in this case for a long time. And I also said when you was gone that, in my opinion, if any family member of Kohberger would point him out as a suspect, or as a possible suspect due to his family background, or due to whatever the family know about him or whatnot, I believe that they would already, especially in these latest hearings, which are very important, they would mention that a family member of Bryan Kohberger informed to the prosecution, hey, let's take a look at Bryan Kohberger. because the only thing that is being mentioned is just FBI giving Moscow PD SDR profile, and no mention, because I believe if any family member would say something like that, they would have him as a human CI.
Okay.
And in this case, it's no human CI.
Okay.
It's
First of
just
all,
the IGG.
well, first of all, there's a difference between a CI and a tip. If I call in and say, I think my brother, this is a tip. I'm not a confidential informant. I'm just telling you what I think. I'm saying my brother fantasized. He talked about wanting to do something like this. He go to that college. I think y'all should look at him. They don't have to mention that. They're not obligated to mention that. To mention that, it's a tip. They can't make you come into court. Think how damaging it would be if your own family members had to come. This is why they never went to see him. Why do you think the Kohberger family couldn't look at him when he go to court? Law enforcement, it don't work like that. They don't have to say, we got a confidential informant. We got a tip from this particular person. That'll put their person's life in danger. They don't have to do that.
But you see, for them, in my opinion, they have to, because the only thing that they have as a tip is no human, it's just the IGG.
Well, that is what they want you to believe.
No,
See,
that's the problem. It's already confirmed in court. What I'm telling you is bottom line. That's the title of this live stream. But I'm only bringing you bottom line. When it's my opinion, I tell you my opinion. The IGG being the sole source of tip against Bryan Kohberger, that's a bottom line.
okay,
It's set in stone. They didn't mention no family member. They didn't mention no human CI. They don't mention no kind of human tip. The
no,
only tip that they mentioned was the IGG.
well, let me put it like this. They got thousands of tips. They never mention a tip specifically what they got. They don't have to. The law don't require them to. You're not constitutionally entitled to it. So they're getting all these tips in. Why you think they went to the IGG? Because they say, look, I DNA in there. If it was some DNA on the knife sheet, look at our DNA. I'm telling you, this is what happened. They don't have to mention it. They don't have to see it. You know how many cases that they prosecute in the past and present that the prosecutor withheld this evidence, this crucial evidence, that there was another suspect, and you never mention it? Come on, man. I'm a pro at this.
Don't you think that them having just circumstantial evidence that would be key to cook them?
That's not how criminal trials work, okay? It doesn't work that way. This is why right today, remember, I jumped out there. You had all these so-called professionals. Oh, she was traumatized. She couldn't remember. I called that was BS. I called it right from the beginning. They heard, if you was up, you heard and you seen, but we don't know to the extent. Think about this. This don't make sense. How on earth are you going to wake up, call 911, and say we got one roommate that's not waking up, and it's 3 people dead not waking up?
That doesn't alert your spidey senses and raise the red flags?
I'm telling you.
Because you didn't trust that you didn't trust the roommates and the frat boys at all. Even after Kohberger was arrested, it's on your videos.
I still don't trust them. And I'm telling you from the beginning, how do you wake up, blood flowing out the side of the house? They never said it was the door. Think about it. They never clearly stated the door was locked or unlocked when they tried to wake a roommate up. Why are these details? Come on. None of this makes sense. So guess what? Don't expect. I'm pretty sure that the Kohbergers, one of the sisters said, or the father, hey, y'all need to look at our brother. You're not going to hear that. They don't do. I know how this works. These are tips. These are tips. Ann Taylor, this is why Ann Taylor is not pushing this issue. They working together. No one today can explain, out of all this time that Ann Taylor's been representing this case, was the doors to the bedroom of the victims locked? How did they get in there?
All right, let me start cooking you well done. Let's go to touch DNA. Because you know what you're talking about, right?
Bring
Let's
it up.
go. You know, I'm gonna fuck with you today. Listen, this is stays within the family, okay?
Okay.
All right. Touch DNA. Microparticles. Can we agree?
Yeah.
Y'all heard him. Y'all heard him already blending up. Yeah.
Whatever.
You know I'm gonna cook you.
I think I'm gonna chop your head off. I think I see it already falling off your head, off your neck.
So we both agree, because this is the part that I love the most, when we agree. I hate when we don't agree. I just hate it, bro. But we could both agree the touch DNA is microparticles.
You can agree with that, yeah.
To run a CODIS, and we spoke about this long time ago, that you told me yourself, it was no fucking DNA in that sheath. That came out your mouth.
Right. Right. Keep talking. Keep talking. I'm waiting on it.
Hey, listen, I hope you know that, bro. No homo. I love you to death, bro. You know this, bro. Um, listen. So microparticles, right? They got a CODIS done, right? They need a certain amount of DNA to actually run the CODIS.
That's right.
They literally swap it with a cutting stick. They swap it, pick up whatever it was left on that brass button, right?
It wasn't nothing on there. Remember, I said from the beginning, listen to me. I say, man, I don't believe he left
I'm
me.
done. I'm done. I already cook you, though. You cook yourself, bro. You cook yourself. I'm done. I don't want.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Because remember,
No, go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro. I'm only messing with you, bro. I'm only messing with you.
DNA left on the knife sheet. I said if it was some DNA, you put it on there. Let me tell you, nobody else said this. Now, let me tell you why I believe that. It fits into the theory. The Kohberger family say, hey, we're pretty sure that's our boy there. He did this. Guess what? Hold up. Here's what they did. Check this out. Remember, I'm the only one said, hey, man, it wasn't no DNA on it left on a button sheet. If it is, you put it there. Remember, I believe that the Kohbergers gave up DNA. Okay. And I believe
You
that
see, but that's a fallacy, because it has not.
I'm just giving you a theory. I ain't saying you gotta believe it. But think about this here. I don't, it's the same way the police saying what they saying. They said they was asleep, now they said they was up. Oh, I don't believe that. I'm just telling you, if I had to theorize, you didn't find no DNA on no button sheet. How the hell he gonna leave that touch DNA on the button sheet and nothing else? I
And
say,
we both agree on that, bro. We have talked about this for the past 2 years.
saying that the way that they got the Kohberger is from his family. That's just my opinion.
You know what though? Let's follow the breadcrumbs, right? Because when they said that they swapped the brass and get whatever was left of DNA on it, they didn't got no hit, right? So I could only speculate, right? Because again, I don't know how many millions of little itty bitty particles was left in the brass, right? I think the story, as they offer it to the public, which we spoke about this it was sent to a laboratory in Texas that you told me yourself that they shady and they cannot be trusted, correct?
That's right.
The laboratory in Texas that you told me they can be trusted, that they shady. The laboratory in Texas.
I said that's correct. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you now, brother.
Now think about
I hear
this.
you.
They didn't want to reveal that they did an STR, a workup. It wasn't enough after they did the first. It ain't nothing don't nothing else exist after that. So where did you get the DNA to work it up?
That's the problem that the whole thing is, because remember when they send it, you see, I have problems with when they run code is for them to do that process of send it to that laboratory. Don't they have to sign it off as it's gonna be transported somewhere else? Like it has to be a record for that.
Yes, it's got to be a change of custody of the collection of the evidence.
Okay. So by the time they what was that? They said that the FBI requested the sheet
Well,
to
here's
come
the problem.
to come back from the Texas laboratory for them to work on it, right?
Okay, yeah, you know why they asked for it? You want to know why?
Go ahead, brother.
That's at that time the Kohberger's family say, "Hey, y'all need to look at our brother." That's why the FBI wanted it.
But can we make it make sense, bro? And get the Kohberger family out of this? Because none of that stuff, first and foremost, don't make no sense. Just to start, it makes no sense because people was talking about him stealing his sister's cell phone and whatnot, and they can't even confirm that shit. So in the same way, we can confirm that information that it came from alleged family members and shit, which is no record of that. um we can't really say that we cannot really say that the Colbert, not even as a theory, because it really don't make no sense, bro. That would have come out already. That's a very important development against Kohberger, that his own family members reach out to authorities to cook their own son. That means that the prosecution is like this.
Can
Thank
I
you.
can I finish?
Oh, bro, this is your show.
I
It's not
know.
even mine.
Finish. Calm down. Calm down. Check. Screw your head on. Put some screws in it. Check this out. Don't look for it to make sense. Don't look for it to be rational, because when I look at the Kohberger case, nothing makes sense behind closed doors. To argue motions and evidence behind closed doors, then come to the public and try to argue some bullshit in the public. You don't know what you argue behind closed doors, so it damn sure can't make sense.
Do you want to know what they keeping behind closed doors? Is the IGG work, bro? Is nothing else.
Okay, then. That's your opinion. That
No,
is
that's a fact in court, bro. I told you what I'm gonna tell you is bottom line. Anyone in the chat room could tell you, bro. Like that's bottom line. Like they have closed those hearings just to talk about the IGG, nothing else, bro.
you think Ann Taylor doing her best for Bryan Kohberger or working with the she's working with the prosecution. I said this all along, and everything I've been saying from day one has manifested. Period.
Well, that has not manifested, because if she was working for the prosecution, she would have made Kohberger plea already.
No, and somebody say she is the alumni of the college that they are trying to protect. Let me show you something, Jrod.
Yeah,
See,
we know that though. She's part of the belly of the beast, bro. We have talked about this.
and then so once again, no one, no attorney, no legal expert can come on here and say that Ann Taylor did right by way. Had she not waived the speedy preliminary hearing and pushed for that speedy trial, none of that mess they using can be used against him. None of it.
Don't you think the prosecution would have loved that shit? Hey, listen, his sister called me and said that, hey, we need to look at this guy because he crazy. He cray cray.
I guarantee that he's going to be convicted. He's guilty. And I said from the beginning, hey, that ain't the way they got to him. His family helped him. You ain't got to believe it. You ain't got to see it. Because guess what? This is why they never went to visit him. Explain why when they went to court, they couldn't look that guy in the eye. It's a fact that when they showed up for his crime, they couldn't look at him. They could not meet his gaze. Explain. I'm right on at this year. I bet the station on this year. And I will not be disappointed. Don't cry now.
You got me crying over here like a little kid.
I say, that's the rise. I'm sure I heard this guy this morning. He believes BK is guilty, right? Yeah, he's guilty. He's going to be found guilty. And if you keep trying to be a proponent for him, you might wind up being a co-defendant.
Hey, big shout out to Tanel. Big shout out to Tanel Ray. She's a subscriber from the channel. We talking with Speakman Holding. He's a brother from another mother and great collaborator, family, and friend of the channel. He has worked with me in this case for the past, I don't know, bro, like what, 2.5 years. And we've been always working together. It don't matter if we disagree a lot within the case, but you know, there's still sharp steel. And I do appreciate Speakman Holding the opportunity that he gave me to have conversations with him about this case, which we appreciate it very much and very dearly. But yeah, he does believe that he's a pro shoot Kohberger in the face. Yeah.
We may just go down there for the trial to shake his hand after he get convicted.
Bro, I already sent the commissary and shit. What are you talking about?
If you believe Kohberger is innocent, then you believe Turkey is cold. Because guess what? The innocent man is going to stand up and fight. Not going to remain silent. Not going to sit there and look like a bump on the log. He out of there. He don't have a defense.
He was protesting, bro.
He was?
Yeah, he was protesting, bro. He was protesting the system, bro.
He going to have plenty of time in his prison cell.
Shit, sure. He already had, what, 2 years?
It's over with for him. No motion that Ann Taylor's has argued has been successful.
All right, let's try to keep it let's make it make sense. All right, let's forget about the Kohberger family, because that has not come out of nowhere. Not even that has not even come out in 4chan. And you know that 4chan, the 4chan. You go to 4chan, you hear the most crazy shit. So okay, believe me, we would have heard that shit already, bro. So let's try to keep that away.
Keep this in mind. Remember Kiely Rodni, right?
Oh yeah, please.
What makes sense about that case when they never substantiated Sammy's phone call? She was already dead when she went in the water. So nothing made sense about that. So don't expect law enforcement to make sense. You have to use your common sense and rationale based on what you know.
I think that's the only case that me and you agree on the whole thing.
Call 911 at the Idaho. Who's the call?
Ain't it, bro? That's the only case that me and you agree 100%, the Kiely Rodni case.
Mr. Jrod, who called 911 for the victims in the Idaho case? Who?
Well, they mentioned again, there's some content creators out there that never heard this shit, but they act like they've been following this case since day one. But before the gag order, it was informed that the phone call was made by through Dylan Mortensen's phone. And while they was in the 911 call, every time tough questions came out, they were passing the phone as a hot potato between whoever was inside of the house.
I got another question. What roommate in particular did they try to wake up?
They were talking about that it was one, if I'm not mistaken, it had to be one of the survivor victims. Because I heard that Bethany Thong, I heard through reports from Moscow, Idaho, because they were talking about the hunter was the one that found the bodies in the second floor. The door, they said the door was closed on the second floor and whatnot. When you know we already spoke about this, that body was not inside of the door.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Hold up. So none of that is making sense. No, there's no clarification.
I agree with you.
To make it make sense. Now, when you start hiding the case, you're not telling us. Think about it. Was anybody killed in the hallway? How is everybody in the room dead? So nobody came out. We know it was one person ordering DoorDash walking back and forth. So what's not clear, was they all found in the same room, different room? What? See, you telling me to make it make sense? No, I'm telling you, the fact that they are omitting crucial facts, don't nothing they say make sense.
No, that's why I told you something. What I told you right now doesn't even make sense to me. The second report that it came out was that the 911 call was for Bethany, because Bethany was the one that found the bodies, in quotes. The Bethany was the one that found the body and she passed out. Then they call 911 for her. And then the cops find the mess.
Okay, so you mean to tell me they called 911 from a person passed out, but not from all the bloody goo? Remember, the police said in the corner, said when they got there, it was a gruesome scene. So that ain't making sense. But you telling me to make it sense, and I'm telling you that the Kohberger family reached out to the FBI and say, hey, listen, listen to me, man. Remember, it's funny. Check this out. But I'm the only one that got right on the roommates. I said, I don't believe nothing they say. Now, check this out. I'm the one said, Ann Taylor working with the prosecutor. I'm the only one saying this. Okay, lawyers can't say it because they took an oath. But I'm telling you, you get there and you don't see all this blood, you don't smell the piss, the fecal matter. That don't make sense to me, man.
It doesn't make sense to me neither, bro. We agree on that.
Makes sense out of some nonsense. I'm just giving you my theory that his family didn't come to court to support him. They didn't say we believe he's innocent because they gave him up. And the FBI don't have to tell you that they gave him up. That's confidential. They ain't gonna be no witness, so they don't have to tell him up. They gave him up and he's out of there. I guarantee that.
So, like I said, I know you try to make it make sense for you, though, and I totally respect that. Everyone respect that. You try to make it make sense for you, and listen, that's okay. Hey, we're not.
You try to tell me to make sense out of what the police is lying about. I know they'll lie.
Stop. Stop. Listen, let's get back to work. Listen, let's put up the comedy for a second. Let's get serious here, okay?
Okay.
Let's get back to homework.
You need to tell that to the Idaho Moscow people.
IGG, okay? Focus here with me.
Okay.
IGG, right?
They throw the IGG. Let's say they throw the IGG report out. You saying they don't have anything on Kohberger?
Easy way. Come down.
All right.
You need. Do you guys? I know you got a little sippity sip with you. Stop playing with me.
Draw over here right now. I'm just drinking a.
I know you're getting nice. Hold on.
Drink this, man. I'm telling you, man, they've been lying all along.
Listen, this shit blue, bro. This shit blue.
Okay. Your boy out there, man.
All right, listen, let's focus here, bro, because we have 43 people watching. They are very, very, very intrigued with this case. I think as well as me and you. So let's get back to the DNA particles, right? And I think we both agreed that as soon as you swap that thing once, whatever was there is gone.
Gone. So
it got sent to Texas. That has to be registered for change of custody and whatnot. And it's by the time it gets to Texas, they should have some framework on it, right?
Yeah, but they don't. Got you.
So it got requested back because, again, the same thing that you just said right now, they couldn't do nothing with it. The FBI requested it, I guess, after they informed Moscow PD that it was really no DNA left there to work with. right? So when the FBI get it, somehow from not having no DNA, the STR profile, it was 2 to 3 times whatever they say it was in the night shift.
You been
That's impossible. The only way to do that is creating an STR profile, which in the DNA scientific world, Mrs. Garcia already explained. Okay, this is on court records about this case. Ms. Garcia already explained that the FBI is capable to create an imprint, a STR profile that it could fit to me, to you, and to anyone.
yes, I agree.
So that's when it comes the FBI now having an STR profile with no DNA that they created themselves and gave it to Moscow PD. But with the advice that we will give you this work, this final work, we know process. We give you just this final work. Now you do due diligence with that. But they recommend to Moscow PD to please do not use this to arrest this guy, because no arrest could occur through IgG. It has to be something else besides IgG to complement the IgG, and then have a strong final conclusion that is based on IgG and facts with evidence. They don't have the facts with evidence. They only have the created STR profile by the FBI, and that's it. Because everything else that they got, AT&T warrant for the cell phone data and all this other stuff, that came after the IgG. Everything they recoup and they call evidence, circumstantial evidence, it was all after the arrest of IgG. So they literally arrest this man with a simple IgG process, with nothing else, which it should not be done like that by their own matrix. The FBI tell you you cannot use IgG by itself to arrest anyone. You cannot use that. And that's on their own protocols and procedures that they tell you. This is why the FBI told them, this is on record, do not use this by itself. They still did it. That's the
So
biggest problem that we got here. Not just that they did it, but in the way they did it. Now you lie to the court, Layton County. You make believe to the court that this man is a fugitive of law, which this man at that point that warrant came out has not broken no law in Idaho. I told you I'm gonna cook you.
no, no, actually you're not, because remember I stated he should have challenged extradition.
And that would be finito.
Well, it would have exposed everything that they did, even the
Right.
speedy people in their hearing. Now remember, even without the IgG report, this is what you fail to understand like a minute. The investigation is ongoing. They can throw that out. And because he was stupid enough to say he had an alibi, he he pretty much gave them enough to hold him over for trial. This is why I never understood why Ann Taylor allowed him to assert an alibi stargazing.
They force him.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, bro. You remember that the prosecution gave him a certain time to make a alibi. If not, he couldn't brought it back. He could not bring an alibi to court.
That was the best defense. No alibi. Now you got to prove it. Corroborate something that you know is a lie. But had you not, the prosecutor had to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you was there. It's a catch-22 situation. I told you I'm a pro litigator, man. Come on, keep
So
talking.
so if you was Kohberger lawyer, you would recommend for him to just not say nothing, allow the prosecution to not allow him to bring no type of alibi on trial, because that's what was stipulated. If you don't give us an alibi by this day, you will not be able to bring no alibi to trial.
Well, listen to what you just said. If I'm innocent and I wasn't there, and I hold you to your burden to prove that I was there, why would I need an alibi?
That's why he give him an alibi, because he's innocent, Dodo. You don't you think?
You don't know. You don't see. You if you was Kohberger, you would be out of there too. Because I'm gonna tell you why. You do not have to prove my innocence. You have to prove my guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. I need not put on no defense. But once you assert an alibi, you now must corroborate the alibi.
Yeah, you
Hold,
know, you go
hold
ahead,
on.
brother. Go
You
ahead.
don't lessen the prosecutor burden. You don't lessen his burden. Come on now, keep talking.
So when he assert, because I agree with you on that, and I give it to you that it's a very empty and vague alibi. I totally agree with you with that. But it is my opinion that the witness for Bryan Kohberger's alibi as the cell phone cast data.
Okay. You got the defense that's going to interpret it. You got the prosecutor going to interpret. Now it's up to the jury who they believe. You remove the alibi, the assertion that I was stargazing.
Yeah, but that's the problem. He did not say that he was stargazing, bro.
I
You
don't.
see, you work for Legacy Media, bro. You need to get me a job.
Hold on. Hold on. He said he was out just driving around. Let's just say that. Because as far as I'm concerned, if you're driving around, you're stargazing. Well, here's the problem with that. Here's the problem with that. Listen,
Stop it.
if hold on, listen to me.
Go ahead, bro.
Somewhere else. You want to prove I was there. See, now when you put up an alibi, your burden is on you to prove it. That's a bad, bad thing.
Yeah, bro. But you know, if you analyze this, the reason for that whole alibi is because they already know they have a cast cell phone data on him, right? That he puts him on this loopy loop and whatnot, right? I don't know if you have heard this information that came out in court. The cell phone data from Bryan Kohberger put him facing opposite from Moscow.
I don't know
So
that.
he so
That's what they listen. That's what they assert. Nothing has been entered into evidence at an actual trial.
it's already putting it's already on record in court the what it shows for exactly whatever
No,
they
that's,
presented to the defense team far as the cast. It puts Kohberger looking the opposite way.
that's speculation. It's not evidence because evidence only is admitted at trial, and there's no been a trial. That's not evidence, man.
Yeah, I mean, it has not been admitted for the trial yet, but it's evidence that the prosecution already presented in discovery. You cutting up, brother. You cutting up a little bit.
Your Honor, I have exhibit A. I like the profit issue is this. Uh, do you have any objections? No. Admission. Does evidence being admitted, not assertions. Plain and simple. I'm listening.
Yeah, because again, the far as as the alibi, that's what we're talking right now. They do know that it was a cast cell phone data. The only way that, let's say, due to that he don't have no witness, he wasn't driving with no one or whatnot. Um, I believe that the reason for that vague alibi that he was driving around. Again, it doesn't assert nothing else, stargazing and nothing like that. He was just driving around. Listen, bro, I used to just drive around in the middle of the night just to go and smoke a doogie and come back home, bro. I did that. You know what I'm saying? So I totally could relate with that. Um, Especially with these college kids that live with another college kids like him and whatnot and the surroundings. You know that he cannot sit there and smoke a doobie himself at the house because he's gonna smell. They're gonna report him. He's gonna get a fine, and he's gonna get kicked out of the development and probably kicked out of the university.
I got one question. I got one question.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Let's assume that Mr. Kohberger was just driving around, right?
Smoking a doobie.
Smoking a doobie.
Yeah, it's legal in Washington, bro.
Why can't he show us on his Google mapping where he was at?
Bro, he lost it. It shows exactly where he was. Remember, in those areas where he was, is they interpret that the phone was shut off, but it was that phone did not have signal. But you could still get tracked by the ROM. That's what Side Ray specified, that it don't matter if you out of signal, the ROM still activates and you still getting tracked by the ROM. So the problem here is that by the time Side Ray ran the test drive, and the test drive, it comes incomplete for the simple fact that the house was demolished. So the readings that they could have that time that they ran it for the first time is not the same reading. Like, at least around the house is not gonna read the same, but any other detail, it will be comprehensive. The problem here is that the cast framework that they presented on the secret grand indictment, Cy Ray found many inconsistencies that does not go accordingly with his study.
I got a question for you. Have you ever heard in court where someone say, "Objection, Your Honor, facts not in evidence"?
Yeah, but that's the thing, that none of this stuff is on evidence right now, because they still filtering what's evidence and what's not.
Once again, and if you can find somebody that can contradict me, until there is a actual trial, the only time that evidence is admitted is in a trial. Since the trial has not begun, there is no evidence that's been admitted into court. I challenge anybody to contradict me.
That's what they
nobody.
That's what they're doing right now. They challenging the IGG, they're challenging everything, bro, as we speak right now.
Evidence admitted into court. There's no trial. These are arguments. This is not evidence right now. These are arguments.
Well, is proclaimed as is gonna be used as evidence against Bryan Kohberger. That's enough for Ann Taylor. That's enough for Ann Taylor to say, if you're gonna bring this information of the IGG and the STR process that he got you to a DNA match, you need to give us the framework. They don't have it. They have to by law. If they don't have that, is no evidence, bro.
I'm not debating. I'm merely telling you there is nothing admitted into evidence at this point. What Ann Taylor's arguing is whether or not the evidence that they intend to use that trial should be excluded before trial because it could be that is what they are doing. But at this moment, this is not evidence to be admitted, is whether it's to be excluded based on the arguments that they make. And so until a court rules on that, then that. But at this point, these are all, there is no, can you name any evidence that has actually been admitted? Because
nothing.
Okay, then these are arguments. And once again, if you try to place me at the scene of the crime, you would never have me give you an alibi. Never.
So you wouldn't recommend to Kohberger to stay in silence.
Say what?
So you wouldn't recommend that as a lawyer, you would recommend him to stay in silence, not give no alibi, even though if prosecution would not admit no type of alibi after.
You don't need an alibi if you're innocent. You don't need an alibi if you're not gonna take the stand. He's not gonna take the stand. He can't. He can't take the stand. You know why? Because they're gonna ask him some questions that he can't answer. And I'm gonna tell you again, if you saying I was there, I'm not gonna tell you I was somewhere else. You're gonna have to prove I was there. See, the only time I'm gonna try to tell you I was somewhere else if you can prove I was there.
Didn't you say yourself that this is not gonna go to trial?
I said,
I told you I'm gonna cook you, right?
no. Based on the information at the time, as the case keep developing, things change. But once he gave that alibi, I said, "Oh, he's fucked." Oh, excuse me. I want you to be, you
Oh,
know.
you no, bro, you good now. You can curse all you want. This is your show. Shit.
Listen, man. I told you as it developed. I told you from the get go. Look, he need. It's too late. I say Ann Taylor working with the prosecution. Nobody said this. This is a bold claim. Have you noticed that she is not saying that he's innocent? She's not saying that he wasn't there. She's saying, well, this evidence shouldn't be used. That's her job.
She said tapping him on the shoulder in open court. She believed that her client is innocent.
Oh, that's what she's supposed to do. But here's the problem.
Ain't no lawyer gonna do that. Ain't no lawyer gonna risk their lives and saying something in court that they don't believe.
No. Their job is to zealously represent you. Yeah, that's part of her job. Even when she
Ain't no lawyer go to court and say, I believe my client is innocent, Your Honor, and putting her hand on the shoulder. I believe this man is innocent, Your Honor.
you just said
She's not, bro.
stop,
She's
stop.
not.
You just said, I believe. She never said, I know. A belief is subjective. The jury gonna think otherwise. She never said, I know he's innocent. Yeah, you right. Yeah, keep talking.
I think she did though. But I was just being nice.
She ain't said that. She ain't said that. She'll be committing malpractice if she say, I know. Now she's a witness.
Amy, did she say that she know that Bryan Kohberger is innocent, or she said that she believes that Bryan Kohberger?
No.
Okay, yeah, she did. She said that he is innocent. That she knows that he. She said that she knows that that he's innocent.
No, she
That's
didn't.
due to whatever. No, yeah, bro. I have all the court recordings, bro. I can play for you right now.
Let me ask you this here: who's gonna judge it? The jury or the judge or Ann Taylor?
Well, now you arguing something else that is not what we're talking about. I can't hear you, bro.
You know how it's gonna turn out. The jury is the judge of the facts.
Another thing that is very particular about this case, though, is the part that like where we at right now, though. Let's move a little bit forward. Right now we're waiting for a frank hearing. I don't know if you have keep up with the latest hearings or whatnot. But far as you know right now, what's your take if Judge Hippler decide to run a frank hearing in this case? What's your take on that, though?
Well, as you know, the purpose of the frank hearing is to determine the validity, the truthness of whether they misled the judge to get in an arrest warrant, search warrant, and they're gonna look at the substance of the affidavit, and if it was a misleading to get the affidavit, if the statements in the affidavit was misleading, leading to his arrest and search, then the judge would have to make a determination if the substance violated Kohberger's right to due process, to whereas anything that uncovered during these arrests and search would be suppressed. And I can tell you, the judge would find that there is no egregious circumstances that would warrant a dismissal or not the omissions of the evidence. They will lose the frank hearing, guaranteed.
Did I mention to you that the judge highlight in court and he made this question to Ashley Jennings? Why, if your what you might call it, it was a name for that, you protocols, like in other words, he asked Ashley Jennings, like, why, if you could go and get this man by the book, why you went through the back door? That told me right there and then that the frank hearing is gonna come up and the judge is suspicious of foul play.
Okay, now, once again, The issue is, did they violate the law, not a policy, not a procedure? Did they violate the law? Because the court only deal with laws that apply to your constitutional right, not about the police policy and this, unless it's related to something else. And I'm gonna show it as far legally speaking, even if the judge hold a Frank's hearing, it's gonna come out and they're gonna rule against Ann Taylor them. It's not gonna be a ruling favorable for them.
Even though if they show malicious practice from the cops lying to the court.
You got to be more specific. What is the nature of the lies?
Well, they misled the jury. They misled the court to get these warrants. Like they did not came truthfully with what they offered the court. Like, let's say, for example, just to start the PCA, they said that Dylan Morrison say this and say that, right? But it's on record that in her interrogation, she's trying to be done with this shit. Like, I don't know nothing. I don't even know this shit was real. I was drunk. I was intoxicated. Like, this is her words on paper. They don't mention like it's nothing on her interrogation that Dylan Mortensen said anything that was on a PCA equal as Moscow PD fabricated words, put words in Dylan Mortensen's mouth to go and get these warrants.
Judge, if he hold a Frank hearing, he gonna have to look and see that had not these statements been made, would the probable cause for arrest or search been granted? If the answer is no, then the judge would have to suppress any evidence from the poisonous tree. Doesn't mean the whole case gonna be dismissed. It means it would chip away certain evidence that they intend to use.
Okay, the main warrant that they try to knock off is going to go and get Kohberger in Pennsylvania as a fugitive of law. That's bottom line. What they try to knock off, they knock that off. They knock everything off, bro. Because listen, everything came out for that one warrant. Just so you know, that one warrant did not have no affidavit.
Once again, they can exclude the IGG report. Let's just say, assuming.
No, everything that mean, bro. You know what it means. If that warrant,
I don't care if they take away everything they got on the table because the case is still being investigated. They have enough because once this man stated that he was out driving around when this happened, that's enough in itself. They can take all that other stuff away, but that ain't going nowhere. This is what people don't understand about a case ongoing.
The part that you don't understand, I'm sorry for interrupt you, bro. The part that you don't understand is that everything they got against Kohberger was through this one warrant that allowed the FBI and the staff they have to go to Pennsylvania and do what they did. If that warrant, it was way before the IGG match. We're talking about this one warrant was what put everything in motion. That means as equal that if this one warrant that started it all is out, everything else falls in dominoes because everything else they got came out of this warrant.
Let me ask you this here. Are you saying, let's say they grant the fake, let's say, are you saying when this Frank hearing go down that the case is dead? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm saying that you're wrong, and I'm gonna prove it because it ain't going. This case ain't going nowhere.
I mean, but again, I don't doubt your knowledge in this case, but you know that if one warrant took you to get this, and that, this one warrant was the starting effect of getting this, getting that, getting this, getting that. This one warrant. So if this one warrant, it was illegal, fabricated, no affidavit, is voided.
No,
equals as everything that transpired after the warrants from Pennsylvania, the IGG, and all this other shit that they picked up is out. It's over, bro. Because
Okay,
the only one thing that I need you to understand,
I understand.
the only one thing that have Kohberger locked up right now is just the IGG. It's not no cast cell phone data. It's no pictures. It's no video. It's no nothing that you could even think of.
I don't know
It's
what.
just the IGG, bro.
Okay, cool.
It's no Bryan Kohberger family members because they have not been identified in this case.
Oh,
The sole thing that the government identified, it was the DNA match to IGG. If the warrant that they got in Layton County was faulty, it was illegal, and it was not supposed to even be there, everything else that fell through after that is gone, bro.
what you just said, if. So we have to wait till that hearing, don't we? I don't know what they gonna offer.
You know he's gone. You know he's gone after that, bro.
You just said if. So we know there's a possibility that if, come on, man, it's over with for him. I know you love him, but he gotta go. He's a killer.
Why you don't be nice to Kohberger? What he ever done to you?
He's dead. He's a cold-blooded kid. Hey, man, come on. He gonna kill these people like this here, man. Come on.
You just really believe he did it, right?
I know he did it.
What make you think that he did it? No, just specify with detail. What tells Speakman Holding that he did it? And please don't give me no legacy media narrative.
He refused to say not guilty when the judge asked him how he plead.
Legacy media narrative. Next.
No,
Next.
No. Ann Taylor remained silent. She didn't enter no plea. Come on, this is what he did in court. She said, Your Honor, we're gonna remain silent. He didn't.
That don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing, bro. Next.
It does. You know what that means?
That's it.
Guess what? Jrod on point. Did you murder that old lady?
Hell no.
Okay, then that's what he should have said. Yeah. Yeah, that's what he should have said.
This is what we love having you here, bro. This is what we love having you here, man, because we had such a good time talking about this case, even though we disagreed. Oh, I think this is like the purest form of agree to disagree, collaboration, respect. I think that me and you show the true crime community that it's possible to disagree and have a good time while we disagreeing, you know?
Ain't nothing wrong with disagreement. Ain't nothing wrong with a difference of opinion and point of view. Nothing wrong.
Right. Which man, again, you need to know how much I appreciate you, bro. Even man, I remember when I reached out to you, man, and you reached back to me, man. That day for me was so important in my true crime career, because I look up to you, bro. I hope you know that the Kiely Rodni case, when you helped me out on that case, and we sat there for hours upon hours. You listen to me, I listen to you, and we fully agree in the Kiely Rodni case. It for me was like the epitome of being accepted by someone which is such a legend like you in the true crime community. I just hope you know how much we appreciate you, bro.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. Appreciate you as well.
For real. And hopefully we could bring you back to the light, man, in the Bryan Kohberger case. That'll be good. You know what I mean? You know, I told you that even if I win, I'm not gonna take your channel, but you got some balls on you, and you're like, nah, fuck that. I'm taking your channel anyway. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna have to embarrass him.
I can pretty much tell you gonna lose. I'm a master at what I do. I'm great at what I do. That's why I jump out there head first. And like I tell you, man, listen. I didn't believe the roommates at first. You had a woman say she been through this before. She was raped and she understand the trauma. Well, I already know that they was lying. You know, I can just tell you like this, you ain't finna open no door and be frozen shocked. If that killer came into that, your door was locked. You never opened that door. Because I can pretty much.
She was like, fuck that shit. That shit ain't gonna happen to me.
These was your friends, and you don't want to If there was my people, I'm gonna be talking on media. Yeah. See, now the police got to him and say, "Hey, we don't want you to do no talking. Just help us out here." I never believed none of the Moscow PD police. None of them. I know how the criminal justice system works. I done been on a jury trial, and I told them I was a felon. They didn't believe. I don't see how they do, man. This is why I say you try to make sense out of corruption. You'll never be able to make sense out of it. You have to go by your rationale and what they showing you.
Um, I like this question. Cause hold on. Tanel said was Jack Decor watching the grub truck live probably. Um, and then this question: who was Kiely messaging you while at the grub truck? You see, man, it's a long story that I don't want to get into that right now because I promised Kara that we're gonna leave that alone until more come out. We're still waiting for a Apple Pay receipt there. I spoke with when I spoke with Brett Payne before he locked up Kara. I explained to him a certain situation that he needs to get developed, and Kara was requesting the Apple Pay of Sana for a particular reason. The at least my subscribers, Amy Conway and the moderators know about what we're talking about, the grub truck. I did promise Kara to leave that one alone until farther notice. So I'm not gonna talk about that. But if you ask me to know, is always a possibility. It's always a possibility that Jack the court could be watching the live feed and she could be texting with Sana. She could be texting with her friends. She could be texting with Jack the Cole. The possibilities are endless, though. So that I hope hopefully that answer your question. Speak my holding. You want to add anything to that?
Not not at the moment.
Okay, and then he said nine missed calls and messages to Jack Decor from Kaylee from her cell phone and Kaylee Maddie's cell phone. And again, by the time again, we have a time of death between 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock. So we believe that at least myself and due to the information I have gathered that by the time Jack Decor got to the house, again, Kaylee's mom said it very clear. She will not stop calling you. She's a power caller. She will not stop calling you either until she get to talk to you on the phone or she get to see you personally. She will not stop harassing your phone. I believe that by the time she start making the contact, try to make contact with Jack Decor, it was when Jack Decor got to the house, and then also her phone got shut off by the time Jack Decor got there. That's what is in the air right now. Because there's no reason why Kaylee would have shut off her phone. It's just no reason whatsoever. She lived through her phone. Her phone is everything. Is no reason for Kaylee Goncalves to shut off her phone at the time of death. That just don't calculate. At least for me, big shout out to Caitlin. Thank you for being here. Very so much appreciated. But yes, again, I did share that with Moscow PD that went the opposite way, making the time of death between 4 and whatever. Um, but I told Moscow PD by common sense and whatever I gathered from people over there and my sources there, it seems that by the time Jack Decor got to the house, that's when she stopped calling him because she got to see him personally. And then that goes with the video and sound that it was collected from the neighbor's house. There is the sound of a female and a man having a conversation. And then after that conversation, Thumpy screaming and yelling started. Um, Again, is this case is such an intrigue though. It's such an intrigue that there is so many details that point at the fraternities and sororities being part of this fuckery. it is more motives, is more indications of foul play in the investigation to cover the students of the University of Idaho. The for Kohberger, it just incredible as having they say they have video of Kohberger's car, they have pictures and stuff like that, but it was said in court that they could not identify the driver. They couldn't see no license plate. That was said in court. Like whatever they have of pictures and video and whatnot, the FBI detective said that was a 2011, 2013. Then when they arrest Kohberger, then I was wrong. So if you was wrong the first time, you wrong the second time too. What you mean? That you're gonna say you a FBI expert? You are not gonna miss that. You are not. You put that onto your computer system, amplify whatever you do and all this other shit. Yeah, it's an Elantra 2011 to 2013. But then when they arrest Kohberger, I was wrong. I was wrong. We're gonna change that. So that in the investigation, if you wrong once, you wrong twice. Am I right, Mr. Kohberger? I mean, Mr. Kohberger, Mr. Spickman Holding.
You can be pretty much. I can just pretty much say Moscow PD is some chronic liars.
Listen, bro, I'm sorry for the disrespect, bro. I'm so sorry, bro.
You
I'm
got,
so
hey, you know that's the killer. You got him on your mind.
man, leave that man alone. What's wrong with you? But my brother, listen, man. I think today we have I think we could do agree that we have a great conversation, that we could also have another one soon, right? Can we get back to work a little bit more consistent?
Yes, yes.
That'll be great, bro. You know that I have plenty work for you, bro. Pay will come with time.
I don't think we're gonna ever see no money on YouTube unless we entertain
Man, this shit terrible, bro. This shit
it.
on bullshit, bro. But man, I want to make sure that listen, I want to make sure that you know that we appreciate sincerely everything that you do for the true crime community, especially for myself. You really every time I talk to you, you do enlighten me and with your knowledge, and I hope you understand and trust that I take that with me. Everything that we talk, every opportunity you give me to talk to you, in the ways that you teach me, the patience that you have with me. You need to know that from the bottom of my heart, and I think I'm speaking for everyone on the chat. We do appreciate you, and we thank you so much.
Appreciate y'all having me on. So it's all good.
All right, my brother. Listen, man. If I don't call you tomorrow, I'll call you in a few days. If not, you call me. You know how it is. I'm an open book. You call me whenever you need me. My apologies for not answer the phone calls back then, but bro, you could tell I was sick like a dog, bro. I didn't want to do nothing with nothing, bro. I was taking care of the family. I was going back to my doggy bed. But listen, I thank you so much for your patience and for everything you do for us, bro. Let's give a round of applause to Speak Van Holden. Brother, something you want to say before we take off?
Yes, just remember they got the killer, and Mr. Kohberger is the killer, and it's time for justice to be served. And if you don't think he's gonna be convicted, you already done lost in the game. I'm sounding up. Ha ha.
My brother, guys, a round of applause for Mr. Speak Van Holden, please.
All right, man. I'm gonna get some sleep. I'm tired. And y'all
Brother,
take it easy. Good night, Amy Conway.
hey, I appreciate you, brother. You're the best of the best. You're the cream of the crop, bro.
All right.
Have a good night, my man.
All right.
Guys, big shout out and it hit different when Speak Van Holding comes and have great conversations with us. I'm so very appreciated. I'm humble for having the opportunity to have conversations with him. and also have an amazing community like we have here in the On Point family. I really do appreciate each one of ya that is in the chat right now. I'm still playing the comments because I want to make sure that everyone gets taken care of in the comment section. Please, if anyone have any question before we leave that y'all want me to make a statement on it, if y'all have, yes, I mean, come with Frank hearing is very needed. Um, make sure that you please give me your questions before we leave. I do really appreciate each one of ya. Y'all are amazing. I wouldn't want have no other subscribers but y'all. Y'all the ones that make this show possible. Y'all the ones that give me the gas to come back every time I can and have conversations with y'all, because y'all are the ones that make this channel possible. I really do appreciate each one of y'all. Please make sure if y'all have any questions, make sure that y'all leave it on the chat, so like that we could answer your questions. And again, is I'm more than happy to answer your questions, and appreciation for your support and y'all being here talking to me and talking to each other and having great conversations though, because that's what it's all about. Hopefully with this live stream everyone realize, always always, um I want to make sure that everyone witness that it's possible that two people could disagree, or multiple people could disagree on a criminal case, and we could still have conversations that are respectful, that are joyful, and conversations that we could take with us and learn from. And hopefully other people could learn that it don't matter if we could disagree in a case. It's always a way to disagree, at least in respect. You know what I mean? I wish I have the same opportunity with other content creators that I disagree with, that instead of me getting attacked for my opinion and my information and my homework, um I wish that instead of them criticizing, belittling me, and just acting like they better than anyone, I wish they could reach out and be like, hey Jrod, you know what, she's crazy, bro, but let's have a conversation. Let's talk about this. Let's see if you have some common sense. And as y'all can see, ain't no one better to debate with than Speak Van Holden. In the same way I could have eloquent and smart conversations with Speak Van Holden, I could have the same conversations with anyone. So it's not about Jrod Point. Oh my God, I can't stand Jrod Point. He think he's too much and whatnot. I hate him and whatnot. He goes at other content creators all the time. Yeah, because they are pieces of shit that talk stupid shit about me. Because I have not go at not one person that I started this shit. And I wanna make it clear. If I lead up anyone here of the true crime content creators, because they started shit with me first. Came to my comment section, say some stupid shit. I light you bitch ass up. I don't have no problem with that. But I have to get offended first. In the same way, when I went at ULs of all trades and shit like that, it was because the bitch came to my comment section in the Kiely Rodni case to talk some stupid shit. So yeah, that's why I got on her bitch ass and I light the fuck up of her bullshit. But I never went at ULs of all trades if this bitch wouldn't come to my comment section saying some stupid shit. And she was a bigger content creator than me. I just started. And you as a big content creator, you're gonna come to my chat, to my comment section, say some stupid shit, you bitch. Fuck you. The same thing with Jay and Bree. I criticize his information. I didn't criticize him. I criticized his information. Then the motherfucker want to come and be racist with me. So I lit his bitch ass up too. I don't have no problem with that. True Crime King lit his bitch ass up. Try to be friends with me in the Kiely Rodni case. I ignore his bitch ass. And now he get offended. Oh, now I'm going to talk about Jrod on point. He don't want to be my friend. Fuck you. I don't want to be your friend. The same thing with T-Rev. Light his bitch ass up. Try to act tough and try to set up people for failure. Stupid motherfucker. In the same way, with everyone that I have talked about in this channel, because all of these motherfuckers deserve a fucking smack in the face. Because they don't know, as bigger content creator, how to leave people the fuck alone. Because again, if what I'm saying don't fucking matter, bitch, leave me the fuck alone. Why the fuck you try to tease the beast when you know you're gonna get smoked? You can't fuck with me. I'm the best. Who the fuck you talking to? Big shout out to everyone in the chat room. I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm the potty mouth. Jrod on point. I always be there like that. I give it to you how it is. I don't give it to y'all how you want it for me to give it to you. I give it to you how I could give it to you, the realest I could be. The same person that I'm here on camera is the same person you're gonna see in person. It's the same person you're gonna hear on the phone. I will always be real with you. But as soon as you disrespect me, you cross me, I will treat you like a rag doll on my kids. And ain't no motherfucker could fuck with me in true crime. Y'all know. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for being here. I love y'all very much. Listen, without y'all, it's no me. And make sure that y'all always come back because it's more to come. And as always, your favorite brother, your mother's favorite son, the black sheep, Jrod on point. Believe in yourself because I believe in you. If I did it, you could do it too. I ain't nothing special. I believe that you're going to take the best decisions of your life for yourself and for everyone around you. Make sure that you love yourself, take care of yourself, so you'll be able to take care of yourself, love yourself, so you take care of others. So you'll be able to love others and take care of others. You got to love and take care of yourself first. In other words, blah. Big shout out to everyone. Big shout out to Amy Conway. My love and respect. Thank you so much for everyone that he was here today. I really do appreciate everyone. Big shout out to Life O'Reilly. Big shout out to Amy Conway. Big shout out to Tanel. Big shout out to Kiely. Big shout out to Ray Annette. Big shout out to old Granny Annie. Big shout out. Let me see. I don't want to miss no one. I think I got y'all. And many more that came by. Big shout out to Kane. Hey, I didn't even see Kane. Hey, listen, big shout out to Kane the Purge, though. Big shout out, it hit different when we send a shout out to Kane the Purge. Listen, big shout out and it hit different. My guy, Kane the Purge. Make sure y'all go and subscribe to him. I really do appreciate everything that y'all do for me. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. And as always, before we go, I'm going to leave y'all with your favorite song, my favorite song, okay? You're so sexy. You know you are, right? You're so sexy. Big shout out, though. I'm going to see y'all soon. I'm going to get back at it. Let's go.
destino. You've caught my eyes and I'm seeing if you're single. Do you wanna get to know me?
Pero tampoco llegamos al piso. Y sin fantasear, vamos a la estratosfera, a lo espacial. Ponte el cinturón pa' que no te vayas a marear, porque este viaje te va a enamorar.
Damn, Papi, nah, it's been on you all night.
Yo, baby boo, you know that I got you.
You know you are so sexy.
Oh, by the way, what's your number?
508, I'll give it away.
Oh, for sure.
Keep it on the low, alright?
Kiana!
Done dirty. It has me speechless. I can't wait, won't hesitate to sharing your caress. I get the butterflies when you're around me. I'm so curious and wanna take you home with me.
Llegando al mundo de la fantasía, para que te des de cuenta que entre tú y yo, mujer,